Hey, welcome to the 2 minute drill. Christian Jones and sitting in tonight, Jay Beasley. What's going on, fellas?
What's going
What's
on,
going
y'all?
on with you? What's going on? What's going on?
All right. Hey, I know Jay, you didn't get a chance to make the post game yesterday. You was there at Soldier Fields. Do you want to share any insights that you saw yesterday?
Since this is a quarterback show, I just want to keep it on the quarterback. For right now, if we want to go a little deeper than that, then I will. But Caleb, he played okay yesterday. You know, I felt like I saw a lot of regression, and what I mean by that, Christian, is the backyard ball. It's like he wants to make every play. It was 3rd and 20 on a specific play, and I've kept this in mind thinking about the show. It was 3rd and 20, and the Saints had a rush. He scrambled for 12 seconds,
hmm
back and forth, going side to side, going side to side, back and forth, only to throw an incompletion. And my thing in those scenarios, Caleb needs to understand that any yardage, positive yardage, is positive yardage. There were plenty of times on that particular play and a couple of more. It was where he could have actually ran for 4 yards, ran for 6 yards, ran for 8 yards, and keep the chains moving. But yesterday, I felt like he reverted back to the backyard, make the big play uh, scheme yesterday, and it didn't make sense. And the thing about it is, we got the win, and y'all know me. Like I tell y'all all the time, we can win 10-6 every week, and I wouldn't care. I don't care about stats. People talk about 4,000. I don't care about that. I'm looking to stack wins. And yesterday, he actually played. He just played okay. It was enough to get a win. Had we not been playing the New Orleans Saints, had we been playing Baltimore, we can't play Baltimore like that. We can't play Cincinnati like that, which are the games that's coming up. So you gotta get it in your head that we're looking to stack wins. And your stats to me don't mean a whole lot. And it's just being able to move the ball positively. And he just played okay yesterday.
What's your take, Christian? From a Q views perspective.
the same thing Jay said. I'm gonna go more in depth with it. Thank God that we have Ben Johnson and that he was drafted to a 7-10 win team. Because if we was the Jets, it'd be looking nasty right now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just being honest
Mm-hmm.
because like one of my biggest things him coming out of college, where everybody kept saying he's Pat Mahomes. I'm like, nah, he don't play on time. And there's a difference. I made a post earlier, I think it was today or yesterday, about how it take time. Like it Pat Mahomes set, you know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers set, Love set. They got an opportunity to whatever issues they had by the time they were starters, they didn't have that. So now he's got to learn how to get like they're working with him getting that type of stuff out of it because you can't play that position not playing on time and not being fundamentally sound all the time. Like there is a time and a place for him to scramble and to make those amazing plays, but then there's a time for him just to take what's there or throw it away, next down, stuff like that. Because if we play a little better of a team, who knows what could have happened, yesterday. So I'm with Jay. I think he played better. I think not better. I think he played okay. Um, he did regress. He's got to find some type of middle ground and just know when to play on balance. And that was one of the things that Ben Johnson said. Like he just wanted him to be like more of like a coach, like not a coach, but like a point guard. I think that's what he said, point guard, right? Something like that. I
Yeah,
know
he
he
said
said
point guard.
something. Yeah, like he just want him just to facilitate, just keep the offense just steady. And right now he hasn't done that yet. I think he will, but he's just got some stuff that he just got to work on.
And
Yeah,
I
so
think
that's
of it.
that's the question tonight. The show is Caleb Williams regressing or is it part of the process? I would say yesterday I thought he regressed. I thought, but I also do think it's part of the process
Yeah.
because that's
Absolutely.
how he played. That's how he's been playing since high school. and he probably felt. Well, I'm gonna have to go constructive. He said he felt he was letting the team down. So once he got into an uncomfortable position, he reverted back to what he has been. Let me try to make a play. And like Jay said, there was plenty of times where, hey, dude, you actually could just run and get the 3 or 4 yards and go with your knees, and it's okay to punt. You're winning this game. You actually adding to your inaccuracy because some of those balls were fast balls that were too hard to handle. You throwing it like 100 miles per hour.
And it's one of those things where, as we was watching the game yesterday, we said that I think Caleb Williams is a young guy, and I think his energy overtakes him, and he starts to play fast. And they were going up to the line, and they had like 14, 15 seconds left on the play clock, and he's snapping the ball with still like 7 or 8, 9 seconds. Slow down, slow down. And I think that's what I saw yesterday with him. It was like he was trying to play too fast.
Yeah,
And that affects the entire offense. Outside of the penalties that we could talk about that if we want to, but oh my God, dude, we got to
yeah,
clean these penalties up, man. We had
yeah.
10 penalties. We had 10 penalties yesterday, 9 last week. The defense is playing well, but man, it's some stuff that the Bears need to clean up because now people talking about, are we coming into the meat of our schedule? No, we're not really coming into the meat of the schedule because as we look at the schedule prior to the season starting, we was looking at Baltimore and Cincinnati and all these teams that's not as good as we thought they were. I mean, Baltimore 1-5, and we still a 6.5 point underdog. That's funny.
Yeah.
But but the meat of the schedule is after that Giants game where we're gonna have to go division. We're gonna have to play division opponents. So we got to get this stuff cleaned up in the next in the next few weeks.
He to allude to what both of y'all saying, he's a second year rookie. That's how I look at it.
Mhm.
That's true. I saw
Um,
your post earlier today, and
yeah,
I'm like, you're exactly right.
he's a
You're
second
exactly
year
right.
rookie. You gotta learn a whole new offense, the verbiage, just getting comfortable with that. And then there are still things that they're trying to, like I said earlier, trying to weed out of him. It's gonna take time. So, like you said, Big Bro Bernard, like it is a week by week basis. It's a week by week basis, and I just feel like we need to just be patient with him. Be patient with him, and just allow him to go through the roller coaster because it's gonna be that. We won't see
Yeah.
him for real until next year.
Yep.
I agree.
Honestly,
I
we
agree.
won't see him until next year.
Because what, matter of fact, I'm gonna steal a phrase from Lawrence Holmes from The Score. His growth is not going to be linear, right? It's going to be more of like a chart up, down, like a heartbeat machine, right? It's
Yep.
going to be like this
Yep.
because what you don't want to be, I keep saying this, you don't want to be like the Cleveland was with Baker, where they
Hmm.
become so impatient. They didn't appreciate the one year they went to the playoff, even though they hadn't
Mm-hmm.
been to the playoff for years, right? He take them a year, but you got to work through that stuff, right? Because last year was a waste of year,
He
right?
was. It was a waste of year.
And you could tell they didn't even work on some of the fundamental stuff. I
He
continue to say
he
all they did was just say, "Hey, man, just here's the playbook, and in the fourth quarter, just go be Superman if the game close, right?"
mhm.
And I believe that's all. And now it does make sense. They didn't probably watch film with them. They probably would just like, just win the game. We'll keep it close, and we good. That doesn't work in the NFL.
Going
They
to
have
phone booth,
a
going to phone
yeah,
booth in the fourth quarter and change
yeah.
to Superman and,
Right.
and work it out
You
and
can
work it
tell
out some kind of way.
they have a plan. I don't know what it is, but there's definitely a plan that they're trying to get him to this year. And then next year is probably, hey, this is where we want to see you. So I would caution Bears fans to just be like, hey man, just chill. Stop thinking he gonna be the top 5, top 10 this year. Because if he top 15, we'll take it.
Yep.
Honestly, we'll take it. I don't think people realize how hard it is to go from just a disgruntled situation. Then now you bring in structure in a new system, and everybody saying like, "Hey, learn this." I mean, that's tough. That's a tough situation. So I thought he played okay and good enough for us to win.
But like I
Right.
said, he played as far as the opponent that we played, he played good enough for us to win.
Yeah,
And one thing I can say, you look at incremental progress.
Mhm.
The Bears have scored 21 points in all 6 games, 21 or more in all 6 games. They're the only team that's actually done that in the NFL. And
yeah,
that's crazy
yeah,
to me. That's
Yeah.
crazy to me.
yeah.
But you have to look at those little steps and be like, okay, this is growth. I mean, how many times have we been blanked in the first quarter or the first half? So you have to take these little steps. And as much as people don't want to hear that, you gotta understand that this is a process.
Yes,
Like Dr. Quick say, you have to trust the process.
yeah,
Yeah.
And this is a process.
Yeah.
And if we can win a game along the way with it still being a process, I can take that.
Yeah. Hey, I agree with Leon. Leon said Bears fans need to
Need
stop
to stop.
aging crap. Also, I saw both in training camp, and there's no contrast between the two. To put it in some perspective, I don't really think Tyson Bajan's arm is much better than Dylan that plays for Cleveland. Slightly better. That's what you would get in when sometimes you see Dylan throw where he seems to be a smart guy. He seems to, a few games, a little bit I've seen him now. He kind of throw on time, but you gonna get some ducks. You gonna get a lot of ducks. But anyway, let's move away from that. I thought it was an okay game, and I thought where the maturity has to kick in is you still won the game, and you got to go to Dick Vermeil. You don't have to be the reason your team win the game. Just don't be the reason your team
Your
lose.
team lose the
I
game.
think
Absolutely.
he was caught in between that. I need to help the team win, but the team was winning. The team was winning 20-0 at some point, but you were starting to press more because I think he felt he wanted to contribute more. No, what you contribute to is helping the team win at that point. If it requires handoffs, if it requires dirt in a few balls just so you don't get sacked. I swear I thought he was sacked about 10 times. He
mm-mm.
was only sacked once, right? But it
And the
just,
one was on him too.
yeah, that one was on him. But it was as
The,
much running around like that. It felt
All
like he
that
was.
running around.
I have a point that I just want to share for everybody. I don't think he would have had a high passing yard game yesterday anyway because
I don't think so either.
they had a light box, so they were like run the ball. We gonna play coverage.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that the whole game. So I don't see how he could have blew the top off anyway. He probably would have been like around like 230. We wouldn't have seen like a 300-yard passing game. So like, should he have played a little bit better? Should he have hit a couple of passes? Yeah, but I mean, let's just be realistic on how the game was going. How what's his name? What's defense coordinator?
Dennis
Brian
out.
Brent. Yeah, yeah.
Dennis
No,
out
not Dennis Allen for the Saints. The
for the second.
old Chargers, old Bears coach. What's his name? Staley,
Al-
Staley,
Albrecht.
Staley.
Was it Albrecht?
No, I thought it was Staley. Who's the old Chargers head coach?
I want to say Brian Staley, but it's not
Yeah,
Brian.
yeah, him. He's the defense coordinator for the Saints. He just played coverage. I mean, he
And
played a lot of Tampa 2 yesterday, and it's like he gonna keep everything in front of you. So
and what you saying that, everybody, the NFL, when I say everybody, I'm talking about us fans, not us fans, some fans, the NFL teams, all these teams, because Ben Johnson is our head coach, they expecting like the whole, y'all know I hate the passing lead. They're expecting the Bears to come out passing. And Caleb needs to understand that it's okay to run the ball. Just like
yeah,
yesterday, it's okay to run the ball. We ran for 224. It's
Yeah.
okay to run the ball. And they are actually allowing the Bears right now, and I know it's going to shut down in the next few games. They're actually allowing the Bears to run the football. And
Hmm.
to what you're saying, Christian, like they was playing coverage.
Yeah, they play coverage the whole
They was
game.
playing coverage the
Yeah.
entire game. We
Yeah.
sitting we sitting in the stands. It's so funny, man. I wish we could all go to a game together because I swear we be sitting in the stands like, okay, it's cover three, it's cover three, it's cover two. Don't throw that, don't throw that. It's cover two. Run the
Yeah.
football. People are expecting, because Ben Johnson is our coach and Caleb Williams is the quarterback, that it's gonna be a passing game. But it's okay to run the football. And
It
we
is.
saw what the results were. You know, granted, they actually had the tight ends. Man, they ran three tight ends. Ooh, ooh. Caleb missed some stuff
Yeah, he did.
yesterday.
He did. He
Oh
did.
my
He missed some
God, he missed
stuff.
some stuff. He missed some stuff yesterday.
There was some
Ben
drop passes too, though.
Ben Ben Johnson has seen this play all day yesterday. If y'all go back to the film and look at the tight end 81 Smite, he would always line up wide and then motion in and settle in tight as a tight end. He did that the entire game.
You have to go back
And
and watch
then
it.
go back and watch it. And then the one time he schemed him and he took him in and he settled on the corner, he ran a wheel route. And when I say he was wide open and Caleb missed it,
Is that the same one that he hit with Swift? Is it the same concept, kind of?
it was the same kind of concept. The
Okay.
same kind of concept. But
Okay.
he motioned in and settled tight.
Okay.
And then when the play started, he ran a wheel route. But he had been motioning in the entire game from the outside. He would motion in and he would stay in and block. He was staying in block. And in the fourth quarter, he did the same thing, but he ran a route. And I was like, oh my God, I was like, this dude is wide open. And Caleb missed it.
Yeah.
So those are the little intricacies that in this offense with Ben Johnson, you have to be aware of as the quarterback. But again, it's going to take some time for Caleb to undo the stuff that he did last year
Hmm.
and be able to be the quarterback that he wants to become.
Okay. Hey, I brought up a next gen stat, that shows the completion chart. Hey, Christian, I wanted to add a little bit more spice to us tonight.
Okay. I like it.
So we see he kind of hit some passes all over the field yesterday. Even in a couple of them in the middle of the field, I would say he missed quite a few shuttle routes
Mm-hmm.
that he just didn't even throw it to, right? When he was scrambling, of guys just kind of standing right there where he didn't even, whatever, he didn't see it, or that wasn't a home run, right? Kind of like you got to get out of that, like I'm using old reference, Dave Keenan thing. You either gonna hit a home run or strike out, right? It's okay to hit base hits, singles, doubles, and
Hmm.
triples, right? Um, but it's interesting the completions were at and what the incompletions were at. The interesting part to me was there were more incompletions on the right side. Normally, it's on the left side where he have the incompletions there, but he didn't go much to the left either, right? And I guess because a lot of times where he was escaping out to the right side yesterday, right? And that's probably where you get these sideline throws over here where he missed these and these up in here. And then you see in this, Christian, that you want
So I like the green. The green are the high percentage passes. I My biggest issue is I would love to see him be hit more of the deep passes. He misses those a lot. Like he hit a few. The one a couple of weeks ago to what's the kid's name from Missouri, number 10.
yeah, Luther
Burton.
Burden.
Luther
Yeah,
Burton.
Luther Burden. Yeah, he hit him on that one. That was nice a couple of weeks ago. But I wouldn't say he's evolved yet. It's a really really good deep ball thrower yet. But I just want to see him be more in this green area where you see him like just hit more of those layups because you know you throwing a 5-yard pass. I know for other fans like man, it's 5-yard pass, push the ball out the field. But you know if you call plays and you got 5 yards on first down, you looking at 2nd and 5, and your playbook is completely open. Like you got a down to waste. Like you could call something deep, and if it didn't work, now I know I got 3rd down, and you got the best 3rd down play, and you're in a manageable situation. So like I want to see him live more just like the layups and you know hitting these passes there in the green, and still evolve as a better deep ball thrower. He's
Okay.
got
And
to
then,
get to that.
and then people need to understand that Ben Johnson's offense is predicated on run after the catch.
Yep.
It's like make the 7-yard completion, and then the wide receiver is running, the tight end is running. That's what this offense is. It's not deep down the field. You know, we throwing the 60-yard bomb. That is not Ben Johnson's offense. This offense is predicated on run after the catch. And a lot of times we actually see that. You know, DJ will make he'll make a 3-yard reception and he'll run for the next 10. And that's what this offense is predicated on. So, people just want to look for the home run ball. This is not their offense.
Yep. Hey, Jay, I want to bring something else in. Hopefully, I can get this screen to act right. We're gonna get a little technical tonight because we want to see is he regressing or is this part of the process? So let's go down here. I wish I could make this column freeze. I don't think I can make this freeze. But we're gonna go down to Caleb Williams. We're going to week 1. Okay, the time to throw, that's what that column is. He had 3.04 seconds to throw. Can y'all see that right there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we see is I'm kind of skip around. Quarterback rating was 86.6. Yep, that's the rating. We got other stuff here. CAT, which is average completion. What we have on that? 6.2. That's pretty decent, ain't it, Christian?
Yeah.
6.2. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's first
good.
week. That's the first week. Okay, we looking right here is 60 yards. Okay, he completed 60%, so that was a little below what they wanted him at. They wanted him at 70%.
They want him at 70, yeah, which is high. That's pretty high. 70%
that
is
is
pretty
high.
high.
That is pretty high. Yeah.
Good God, that's high.
Yeah. 60, 63, 64, 65, that's like the average, but 70% is high. But I'm not mad at Ben Johnson for planting that seed. He planted that seed like, okay, I need you to be at 70%.
Yeah, because he probably want him about 65, 67.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because 70%, that's I don't
There's a lot of dinking and dunking too. Probably.
Yeah, I don't know who's ever lived in that percentage.
That's a good choice of words.
Yeah.
That's a lot of dink and dunk, right? That's your a lot of times them backup
area.
quarterbacks throwing 3-yard passes.
Yeah.
Hold on. Here's so let's look at the hold on, what column is that? So in the first game, he threw for I lost my place. He threw for 1 touchdown, no interception, 210 yards. That's what the 210 right there. Okay, so that game wasn't as bad as we thought. I think our expectation. Let's go to game 2. What we got on game 2? Okay, he held the ball a little bit longer, 3.16 seconds.
That's the Detroit game, correct?
That's the Detroit game.
Mm-hmm.
Average pass, 6.8 yards. Is that average pass? Okay. Mm-hmm. And we had 2 touchdowns and an interception. 91.9. Is that the quarterback rating? and he completed 63.3% of his passes. Okay, we saw a little improvement on the passing. Can y'all see that? Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's go to another one. Then we'll stop at week 3. Then come back to this. Let's go to week 3. Week 3 is what, Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Week 3. What we got going on here? Week 3. Oh, he moves to the top of the list
The
now.
top of the list.
Yeah. So time to throw actually went up some more, 3.2 seconds. Of course, we got the CAC, average yards. Okay. And catch was set, 7.5 yards. We threw for 298 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interception. QB rating of 142.6. Completed 67.9% of his passes. I'll take that.
Like I say, incremental progress.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is. That's incremental progress.
Did y'all want to keep going to the game 4, 5, and 6?
Let's go to let's go to the last game.
The last
Yeah.
game.
Because
Okay,
we
let's go to.
because we seeing progress in the first 3 games.
Yep.
And we all know that we won the next 2 games. But let's see what it looks like in this game.
Okay. So believe it or not, yesterday he was getting the ball. Hold on, is that week 6 or 7? No, because they had a bye week, right?
It's
Yeah.
week 7.
It's week 7.
It's week 7. So I'm looking at the wrong week. I was looking at last week. So it's week 7. But last week he got the ball out of his hand at 2.65 seconds. So you can see the improvement on getting it out of his hand. Increase. He probably at the bottom of the list on this one. Here we go. He went for the long haul, Jay. Because of that running around, he held the ball 3.74 seconds. That's too long.
That's too long. That's too long.
And you know what? I want to mention that, Jay, that's what distorts too time to throw when you're running around in a pocket, because that distorts, like you said, hey, that one play, he held the ball, like what you said, 8 to 10 seconds?
12. It was 12 seconds. It was
Right.
12 seconds. He ran around, running around, just dipsy doing. And it's cute that dodge defenders and all that. But at the same time, too, it's almost like, come on, bro. Come on. Give it up. Take the positive yardage and not risk the interception that could happen once you scrambling around like that.
Okay, so let me get back to the line where he's at. Okay, he threw 0 touchdowns right here. Passed for 172 yards, 1 interception. QB rating 61.7. His accuracy was completed 57.7% of his passes. Hey, Jay, let me just go back to week 6 right quick, because
He missed some throws yesterday, big time. Just like
yeah,
he did in the Commanders game. In the Commanders game, he missed some throws. He missed some throws over the last couple of weeks that you would think like these should be completions. These should be completions. But he's missed a couple in the last few weeks.
okay. So when you look at the game last week, the time to throw was 2.65 seconds. The average completion was 8.3 yards. He passed for 252 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Quarterback rating 98.6. Completion still down 58.6. So I think what we do notice is, let me stop the sharing of the screen. We do notice the completion has been trending down since the 3rd game.
Mm-hmm.
When we was in the 60, 62 to 68 to now, we're the last 2 games, we're under 59%.
Yeah, so that's the thing that we're seeing right now. And like I said, I just think, and it's one of them things too. and I don't know if this is a thing with players, but that was the first home game since September. You coming home to play on a 3-game winning streak, and it's one of those things where it's just like, oh, we finally at home, we hyped up. So I don't know if that's what it is. To me, that's what I saw on the field. Like, Caleb, slow down. Because as a fan, I was so glad to be at Soldier Field yesterday. Like, man, it seems like I ain't been here in 2 months. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh my God, finally. But but yeah, I just think he just needs to slow it down and just be able to take what the defense gives him. And in those instances where he breaks containment, he's already broke containment. You haven't taken a sack. You broke containment. Just get the positive yardage and stop trying to make the backyard big play. And that's what I've seen. That's what I saw from him yesterday, especially.
Yeah, yeah. I do also think like with any sport, I'm gonna use like maybe boxing or whatever as an example. When you start feeling like uncomfortable, normally you'll be coached to try to go back to the basic. Let's go back to the basic. I'm using. Matter of fact, let me go use basketball as an example. If your shot ain't falling, the old school players would go get a layup, right? They would get a higher percentage
Higher
shot.
percentage shot.
Right. They want to see something go in to get going. Right. But the players that a lot of the players play now, they just keep shooting threes. Right.
Right.
They don't care how many not going in, and they'll keep going. And then after a while, you be like, man, this is hard to watch. Why don't they just go get an easy basket? Okay, in his case, that's a similar to Caleb, right? Where if it's off wheel, really the basic would be let's take a little short pass, and take a 3-yarder, right? Because that's what coaches want to run. Maybe they'll run a quick out, a quick screen. They'll throw something make you feel good. But in this case, the quarterbacks in his generation came up with the home run, the hero ball. So they want the deep passes. And the more they miss them, the more they want to get
The
one.
more they want, the more they want to get one. Right. Right. Just like the Swift pass against the Swift touchdown last week against the Commanders. That was a short pass. Short pass. Let your playmakers do the work. And that's what this offense is really all about. As I'm sitting here watching Detroit right now,
Mm-hmm.
even though Ben Johnson is not there, John Morton is calling that game. And it's just like, I'm going to get the short stuff and then let my playmaker make a play. And that's what they've been doing this entire game. As I'm talking about how this dude just stumbling and bumbling right right now. Jameer Gibbs just stumbling and bumbling right now. It's that's that's the offense that you want to have in today's NFL because because defensive backs are so good. You don't have that luxury to just tuck it, Kristen. You don't have that luxury to tuck it 50, 60 yards and have
Mm-hmm.
a wide open man. 9 times out of 10, when those things happen, it's a busted coverage.
Yeah.
But if you can get
Yeah.
your playmaker the ball in space,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna make the plays for you.
Yeah.
They're
Hey,
gonna make the
Christian,
plays for you.
Christian, as
Oh,
you being a former quarterback and a quarterback coach, I mean, what's your advice to quarterbacks like Caleb when they kind of feel a little bit struggling in the passing game? Because we can see from looking at those stats and looking at it from next gen that game one actually wasn't as bad as we was being told to make it seem like. Basically, it was just we wanted Peyton Manning first game, right? We came out wanting Tom Brady perform his first game. That wasn't gonna
Mm-hmm.
happen. But technically, to me, yesterday was actually his worst game. But it was okay. It was his worst game, but it was
It was
okay.
okay. I mean, it was so yesterday. So I'm gonna bring it home for us so everybody can understand. If he would have been in this offense for 2 years,
Yep.
then
Yep.
yesterday we can be a little bit more hard on him.
Yep.
But he's a rookie in this offense, and I don't think people understand how what he's really being asked to do, play to play. So he missed some throws that yes, we want to see him hit. However, I'm going to give him grace because he's a rookie in this offense. So the advice that I would give him is just to slow down and to get back to the fundamentals that we've been teaching you throughout the whole week of preparing for this game. And what's crazy is this is football. Like, this is something that you tell a high school quarterback, that you would tell a college quarterback, whether he in junior college, JUCO, or D1, D2, D3. It's the same message. It's the same message. He's in the pros. It's the same message. The only difference is when you're on the pros, that fourth guy, sixth guy on the roster that run a 4-4 or 4-3, yeah, he can actually play. We over here calling him weak, but that dude in the
That dude can
NFL
actually
for a
play,
reason,
right?
yeah, he can actually play. So
Yeah.
I think we get a little bit, too critical of these professional players in the NFL for a reason. So yeah, so my advice to him would just be like, man, just slow down and trust the process. Like, I feel like what you said, like he does revert back to old habits, and it's just something that we just gonna have to see. We didn't. This is the thing. I guarantee you, and I promise you, I'm put my whole, as much money I got in my pocket, I'll put my money on it. If Pat Mahomes would have played his fresh year, we would have seen some of his
The
struggles.
same thing. Yep.
Because we seen Troy Aikman struggles, we seen Peyton Manning struggles, we seen them dudes struggles. So we gotta have patience with this man, with his struggle. He has struggles, but we should be thankful that he got drafted to a 7-10 win team. Because if we was bad, we'd be calling him trash. No different than we do all the other quarterbacks that go get drafted in the first round to bad teams and then get out of here. I don't think that they were ever trash. I just think they was in bad situations and they lost their confidence, and that was it. Because if that was not the case, then why is dude in Seattle, Sam Darnold, who everybody's making fun of, why is he looking like a Pro Bowler now? You know what I'm saying? So it takes time. It takes time.
I think it's a personnel too.
Yeah. When you talking about Sam Darnold, look at Daniel Jones.
Him too.
Daniel Jones.
Him too. Yeah. It takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time.
But you know what? I would only thing I will dispute you a little bit slight on. I agree with 99% of what you're saying, and I'll say this: Justin Fields was drafted to an 8-9 team. They had actually went to the playoff the year before.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's still subjected to personnel, coaching, having experienced backups. Right? It's a whole. Right? It's a whole that affects the quarterback.
He was drafted to a lame duck situation.
Correct. Not only that. Y'all know I love the Ohio State University. Y'all know I love it. But let me tell you something. I am convinced Justin Fields is a career backup. Period.
For right now, yeah.
As hard as it is for me to say that, because I had such high hopes for him. But when I watch him in real time, he's not good.
He had time to develop, though.
He didn't.
He didn't have time to develop. He should have been developed.
And that's one of the things. And that's one of the things that I can say, going back to what you were saying, when you're talking about the Sam Darnolds and all these guys that got drafted in the first round. Look at Baker Mayfield. Look at Baker Mayfield. It's one of these things where the NFL, when we always said, not for long, these players get thrust in these situations and people expect them to be good.
I got one for you, Jay. If you're gonna draft a kid, then you need to do what what's his name? Papa Shanahan did when they drafted RG3. Go to Baylor, learn that system, bring it to you off, and then that's how you'll win. Because you're not gonna tell me that Jaden Hurts, I love him to death, but he will never be top 10 without the weapons that he got there.
Yep.
He's a system guy.
Absolutely.
Period. Point blank. And when we talk about Justin Fields, all the other kids, I guarantee you, all them other quarterbacks that's on the same ilk as Justin Fields is the same way. You gotta either you gonna have a guy who's in the Peyton Manning, Joe Burrow, Tom Brady ilk, or you're gonna have the guys that's in the Class C that can win you a championship, but you just gotta build a team around them. It's just that simple.
And I think with Jalen Hurts, and I know we get back to the topic, he was drafted where he was supposed to be drafted.
Yep.
Some quarterbacks,
He should have been a
unfortunately,
bad. He should have been a bad. I still
he
keep
should.
saying that.
unfortunately,
Yeah,
some quarterbacks are drafted too high, and they should have been. But they want to be one, they want to be two, they want to be top 10, 11, but they really been served better being a second round guy, right? And maybe they fall late to the round. They fall into a good team, right? And even though initially you're a backup to a starter, you're probably getting a whole lot better. See, the thing about Mahomes that's distorted was he was drafted to a 12 and 14.
Yes.
That's the total difference.
And he went to a Hall of Fame coach.
They traded up to get him, but they was a 12 and 14 that had been to the playoffs.
And he went to a Hall of Fame coach too.
With a Hall of Fame coach. Now that's
and he was
the top 10.
Yeah, and he was
that definitely doesn't happen.
And he was the fifth. And he was the fifth. And he was the fifth rated quarterback in that draft.
Sure.
Yeah, and we got to tell the whole story too. He played a lot of football at Texas Tech too.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And that's one thing that we got to talk about too. These kids be in school for 2 years.
Bo Nix.
And then you go look at Bo Nix, who's been in school for
6 years. 6 years.
And then you see
this dude played for 6 years.
Right. Then you be like, dang, why he killing? Because he got developed.
He got experience.
Yeah,
he has experience.
Man, what? He played in SEC, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
So what you think gonna happen if the kids in the SEC?
He started his career at Auburn.
Yeah. Come on now. That ain't nothing but NFL talent up in there. That's
Jaden Daniels played 5 years, right? He played
same thing,
He played 3. I think it was 3 years at Arizona
State. So did Penix. Because he was at Indiana. So we got to tell the whole story when it comes down to this, and people like, oh, this person regressed. Man, if y'all don't stop with that stuff, stop saying that. Stop saying stuff like that.
Benefits of NIL right now that could work in guys' favor. It could make quarterbacks stay a little longer if they're not projected to go high, right? And it may make those guys stay that extra year because they're getting that NIL. I think that's one advantage that you could see happening, right? Because a lot of times that money, they're not getting that money. Guys was chasing the bag, and you'd be like, dude, stay in. You didn't play 17. You didn't have 17 starts, dude. That's not enough for the NFL. You probably need some stars, man, to even seriously thinking about coming out. You haven't even for a snap. They calling all the plays from the sideline. They showing flashcards. You clapping your hands.
All of that. But I just got to say this because you said NIL. Did y'all read the story that the top rated high school receiver is on his way to the Ohio State University? He wants NIL money. High school. What are we doing? High school.
He ain't the first one because Nico from Tennessee was getting money in high school before he transferred to UCLA. So is this the first one?
Is this what we're doing right now? Like, okay, education means absolutely nothing at this point. It's all about getting the bag. It's all about getting the bag. But going back to what you said, a lot of these quarterbacks, like I say, Bo Nix played 6 years, and he had 66 college starts. I want to say, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. So you come in with a little bit more knowledge versus these guys like Cam Ward. And I think Cam Ward actually played 3 or 4 years somewhere. He might have played 5 years in college.
Yeah, Cam Ward is another one. Yeah, he's another one.
But still, when you thrust these players into the NFL game as quarterbacks, it doesn't really equal the college starts. It gives you the experience, but the experience that you dealing with in the NFL is so much more violent. It's so much more violent, man.
It is, Jay. You already know what they face against because they'll have okay, they'll have a drive concept to their right, and then they'll have maybe a smash concept to their left, and they got a whole triangle read.
And they got
Where in college,
Yep.
you probably only got a mirror type dual mirror routes where they running smash on both sides, or they running some type of hollow action where it's not really like a full read. It's really, hey, you got to alert, and if that's not open, then figure it out.
Figure it out.
Seriously,
Yep.
because I mean, it's the stuff is get a little bit more complex when you get to the NFL. Like for real.
And, I just think that, and again, I don't try to belittle people and think I know everything, but it's almost like people don't understand that it's real.
It is.
It's real, and people can be sitting there and watching it on TV like, well, he should have did this. He said, it's not that simple. It's
Right.
not that simple, and
Hey,
people don't get that.
No,
hey Jay, you know what? If
because
we want to get a field of playing quarterback, go out there and play some street quarterback. I'm talking about if you never played the position. I've never tried to play quarterback, even in Sandlot. I think it once or twice I might have got the ball, and I was like, man, I can't keep up with
This is
all this.
hard.
Right?
what
It
bugs
was just basic stuff, right? It was
you
just
know
like
what
going
you
to the
know
guy
what
that
bugs me
right?
you know what bugs me the most though with novice and people that are just casual fans is they don't understand that the quarterback reads dictates with so many different variables. One, pass protection, which he is responsible for. So, do you have a team that it's okay for you to throw into the man side or the slide side? I know y'all know what that means, but do the people at home that be saying, "Oh, he should have did
He
this,
should
he
have
should
just
have
did
did
this. He
that"?
should
Right?
just
No, that it don't work like that.
Yep.
Then it's two where you got a simple concept like dagger, where you got a runoff and then you got a basic coming behind it. Most people be like, "He should have took the deep route." No, that's a runoff. You can't throw that. You cannot throw that. That's a runoff. So people like, "Oh, this guy's wide open." They start circling something. I don't even know if he was in the progression. He's probably wide open for a reason. He's probably was never in the progression. So there'd
And a
be
lot of
stuff like that that just be like, man, what are y'all talking about? Like,
and a lot of
I ain't even
times
about
and
to
a lot of
argue with y'all.
times and a lot of times at Soldier Field, we be sitting there watching the game. People be like, that dude was wide open, and we be looking like, no, he wasn't.
Yeah.
No.
No, he wasn't.
If a guy's wide open in the NFL, he's not open. I
He
promise you he not. Because
Yeah.
you're not gonna see him open when you throw the ball. Like you gotta throw guys open in the NFL. If you throwing a guy out that and he's open, it's a busted coverage
just
or
like
something else happened that wasn't supposed to happen.
You know,
just like
it was a
just like
game
that
last
pick,
week.
just like that pick the son right had yesterday. That pick the son right had yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Spencer Rattler thought that dude was open.
Yeah.
He thought, dude, this dude is not open. You telegraphed that entire thing. And people just don't understand that it's just not that simple.
It's
It's
not.
just
Yeah.
not that
And
simple.
you know what? Sometimes when people are when they it depends on if they looked at the all 22s or whatever they looked at. I'm gonna give a good example. Last week, I think it was the Eagles, and Jalen Hurts threw a red zone interception, and a lot of people were talking about he should threw to the guy that was I think it was AJ breaking into the end zone. Actually, to me, if he threw the ball on time, I think he's trying to throw to Smith.
Mm-hmm.
He just threw it late, and it was bad placement. But
Yep.
I was saying he should have threw it to the tight end. I don't remember their tight end name. The tight end actually run, and he turned around. He had a lot of space because the safety was actually headed towards AJ, right? Because he was actually going to take the end zone. But
You
once
talking
he
about Goddard?
started,
You talking about Goddard?
Yeah.
Goddard.
yeah, once he started seeing him throwing towards the corner, he broke back towards the corner, which made it look like, AJ would have been wide open for touch. No, he actually ran that way when he saw the ball in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And you took your screenshot after the ball was in the
Right.
air. That's when that occurred. So you do see a lot of that where fans
Even
overreacting or
even a lot of times where I'll be watching the game and I'm like, as a receiver, sometimes when a defense is playing a zone and you running your route, you coming out the huddle, you know what route you're supposed to run, and then it's almost like sit down in the zone. I understand that. But if the quarterback and the receiver is not on the same page with that, in as you say, Christian, in this new offense,
Mm-hmm.
the quarterback is actually going to throw the ball where he stayed that you're going to, what the play say.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're supposed to be. It's not the I'm going to sit down because that's not the play call. And people don't understand that. Of course I can sit down because I'm in the zone. I got a linebacker here, and a safety back there. I'm sitting here, throw me the ball. But the
Mm-hmm.
quarterback is not thinking like that because that's not the play that's called in the huddle.
Nope.
But when you get good, like a Patrick Mahomes, that stuff he did yesterday, where he froze that safety and threw the ball and wasn't even look.
That was a Magic Johnson.
That's
Yeah, but he been in that
that's
offense for his
that's
whole
and
career.
that's what I'm trying to say. That's when it's
Yeah.
good.
I
When you get to
mean,
stuff like that, that's when it's good.
you get a
That's
play
when it's good.
call. See, this the thing though. The people don't understand. Like you'll get a play call like this, right? All right, so this play call. There'll be scatter right to west, F left, 338, Y stick, Z spot. Now you trying to process that, and then now you get, then they'll throw you an alert, like another call. It's like I got all this information,
All this,
and now I'm
it's a
trying to
lot of
figure out.
information.
Yeah, then I'm
It's a
trying to
lot of
figure out
information.
where Pat Mahomes he get the call. He already know. Oh, okay, let's go. Caleb, he like processing
Wait a
it.
minute. He's
Yeah,
still trying to process the information.
yeah, he
Yep.
processing it, and then
Versus
if
versus
yeah,
Mahomes, he already like, okay,
he
I
already
already know.
know.
Yep.
He already
Yep.
know. So you get 2 play calls, an alert. Man, that's a lot.
That's a
That's a
lot.
lot.
It's a
That's
lot
a
of
lot.
information.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of
Hey, I
information.
don't know if y'all want to look at a couple of clips, but I want to. I'm gonna give my advice. Not that my advice mean anything to Caleb, but my advice would be is go back to the basic. I would tell them to go watch the Dollars game, right? Reinforce something that happened, and I would go to basic math. Do the easy problem first, which means take the easy throws, right? You know what? Take the easy throws. Make sure your fundamentals. Play loose. Don't overthink it. It look like you thinking. Slow down, right? If you're not sure what's going on, call a timeout. It's okay. Call a timeout if you're not sure, because I do think, and I didn't say this last year because he's a rookie, so I'll say this a little bit more this year. Sometimes when Caleb is rushing, he drops back too fast, and he drops back so fast that
And
sometimes
that's
he's hitched.
that's what I'm talking about. Playing fast. He playing
Correct.
too
He's in
fast.
his hitched too
Playing too
fast.
fast.
Correct. And Christian could correct me if I'm wrong. They're really everybody is time on you, and if your timing is 1, 2, 3, they don't expect you to go right. Like, oh,
Yeah.
dude, you got too fast.
But again, you get into the clap. There's a rhythm to everything. There's a rhythm in your cadence. There's a rhythm in how you send people in motion. Like you could send somebody in motion too fast. You can send somebody in motion too slow. Like there's a rhythm, and we're not realizing that this is his second year doing this. He was in college doing this. Literally.
Yep.
That's what we do in high school. And you know what's crazy when we played and what's now when we played, we actually like had cadence to try to get people to jump off sides.
Mm-hmm.
Not no more. We be doing this to see if you're gonna jump. For real. That's what we do. We call dead calls up here at Evanston. A dead call for us is like we'll do this and he'll clap to see if they'll jump. And if they jump, sometimes we see if they're gonna shift, but they don't go through cadence anymore. They don't do that. They get our plays from the sideline from us. We give them a play. It's one word: Wisconsin, Alabama, Miami. Simple.
It's just a whole new. It's just a whole new. It's
Whole
just
new
a whole
stuff.
different
And then
process.
you get to the NFL, you got a whole paragraph.
Right.
Right. Right.
If people don't believe you could get to the NFL and not know how to read the defense or even know the terminology, I'll share with what Brad Favre did an interview. Said his second year, he looked at I think it was Ty Demmer, and said, "Man, what is a nickel defense?" He was like, I don't know, like kind of laugh. He said, like, I know you just kidding. He's like, no, man, I don't know what a nickel defense is. So you said kidding, right? No, I don't. He said, oh man, they just took a linebacker out and brought in
put a defensive back in,
right defensive back in. And he said, that's all it is. And he was like, man, I don't give a damn about that. But think about it. It took him just sucking up his pride to say, man, I keep hearing him say this, and I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
Correct. So even quarterbacks, I did think at times last year there was a few things that I thought Caleb might have not known, which was fine because you're a rookie. That he might have not been comfortable saying he didn't know it, right? Yeah. And he finally like, hey, somebody needs to watch film with me. That's one of the things he did say. Well, other people were like, old time was like, what you mean you don't know how to watch film? Well, Christian exposed it, right? It's a lot of stuff they just don't do.
They don't do.
They don't do.
When you get to NFL, you see. So some of the concepts are the same. They just get to them a little different. The defense is, I will say, that's a whole different game. I think when you're in the SEC, when you're in the Big Ten, what makes it hard is because you get a lot of, you might get a team that got all the top best talent, guys there, talent. And you don't. So they got like 10, 5-star recruits, and you got like 2. That's why it's so lopsided. But when you get to the NFL, they actually they might run cover 4 to this side, cover 6 to this side. They might do some weird stuff that you ain't never seen before, where they can do an inverted cover 2, where they start getting safeties dropping in the corners, play safety. It's like little weird stuff that they do in the NFL that you've never seen before in college. So it's like, people be so critical. Oh, I think he's dumb. No, I think you need to go training camp and then come back and then holler at us once you figure out how hard.
Once you figure it out, right?
Yeah, because it's some hard stuff that they got to do. So,
okay. So we I guess maybe we come into a conclusion that he did regress, but it's part of the process.
It's part of the process.
It's part of the process. It's part of the process, because the bottom line is still, again, like I said, is and I'm not going to even say as bad as he played. He played okay, but I'm okay with that because it's still steps, and we won the football game, so it's still steps. And people, I was listening to the radio today, and people like, "Oh, Caleb, he ain't that." We won the game.
Yeah,
we won the game,
and tell the whole story when we had Nagy.
Tell the entire story.
Yeah, tell the whole story, because when we had Nagy and we had Mitch, they were scoring a lot of points because of the defense. We've been scoring actually because of our offense. Seriously, like there were points when we had Nagy in them and our defense would get turnovers. Our offense couldn't score. Our offense is actually scoring. Like, they got a couple of turnovers yesterday, and offense scored 26 points.
But I still gotta say, us getting turnovers on the positive side of the field and kicking field goals,
but we were that. You're saying what I'm saying. That's what we were not doing when Nagy and Mitch was here. They were the ones getting the points. You would be like, oh, we scored 31 points, and not knowing that the defense scored 16 or 18 or 21 of those points. Now we getting 26 points, and we looking like, dang, the offense scored all of this. So, he had a bad – I wouldn't say a bad game. He had an okay game.
He had
one interception.
It was mediocre.
26 points? I'm going to take that.
Yeah, hey, look, we had times –
I never seen that.
We had times on the flukes where we got – we got a turnover on the plus side of the field and ended up being out of field goal position by time 4th down, because we was punting, right? I mean, I seen us one time on the 35 and end up on the 45 on the other side, right?
I'm glad to see that I got an offensive coordinator who who know how to call plays. Because last year we had Buddy holding the play card, shaking because he knew he was gonna call some dumb stuff last year. Shane Waldron, that man was calling. Remember that game? What game was that last
Yeah,
year?
that was like the
They
first
showed the
game
game.
too.
Yeah, he was shaking. I'm like, what's wrong with him? Because he
But
knew he was
again,
on some dumb stuff.
but
So
again, but again, I want to say, like you said, Chris, is just having a play caller that's competent.
yeah,
And like I said, sitting in the stands yesterday, I noticed just sitting in the stands how he had Smite, you know, in the game. In the game, he would motion this way. He would motion. He's marrying plays together, and that's always been a thing for me. Bernard, you know how I used to be like
You said
Matt
that all
Nagy
the
just
time.
throwing, he throwing darts at the wall. He throwing darts at the wall. This dude is marrying plays together, and when I tell you he ran that play so many times, I'm like, and then when he finally ran it, and the tight end went out for a pass, I was like, this is what you call marrying plays together.
that and the bye week. Because after the bye
The
week,
bye week was the
they
bye
came
week. Yep,
back, fixed the
yep,
run game. He
yep.
had the temerity to say, and I'm not, y'all know I don't like Braxton, but for real though, he had the temerity to say, Braxton, sit on the bench. We gonna put this kid in. And ever since he got in, it seemed like, God, dog, we can
He did
Long
run.
have two.
game taken.
He did have two penalties
Yeah, he
yesterday.
had two
Yeah, he
He
penalties.
did
did.
have two penalties
He
yesterday,
did.
but, but we ran for 224
That's
yards
what I'm
yesterday.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
So that it matters.
It
It
matters.
matters. It definitely
I
matters.
think the thing. So what I'm mostly getting at is with the Brass is that last year they refused to demote people. Where he is like, you ain't getting it done, you getting demoted. So,
But
all seriousness, no, I don't
that's
particularly care for Braxton, but it was just saying, look, I've seen enough. We gonna fix
that's
it. We gonna move on.
that's coaching. That's coaching
Yes, that we have not
holding
seen.
players accountable. That's coaching holding players accountable. And we didn't see that. We had 18 captains last year.
18.
Right, right.
you know, you know, it's about holding people accountable.
Jay, that's why I appreciate him in preseason, but training camp too, talking about false starts and all that. Because to me, he was holding the players accountable for that. I was always blaming the coach the previous years for all that because he never held them accountable for it.
Yep.
He would almost act like it wasn't happening.
Yep.
They would have all these penalties, and he would not really like. At least he was talking about it. And now the players are even talking about, hey, we got to get together. But it's one thing I did want to address about scoring. They're going to have to figure out, and it may take a while, who are they when they get to the red zone? I
Yep.
think that they don't know who they are in the red zone.
Not yet. Not yet.
Right.
But I
Is
figured he
your
would
red
know.
zone, are you going to do our bread and butter, for example, is a fade route to Rome. Maybe it's a jump ball to Komet. Maybe it's a quick slant to Luther, right? Maybe we just gonna power, what's his name? The other back, I can't think of his name, Matanga, whatever.
Mananga.
Manganga.
I
Maybe
think
we're gonna power
yesterday.
him. But we
I
just
think
need to know who
I,
we are
I
in the
think
red zone,
yesterday
especially
he
the goal
was.
line.
I think yesterday he was trying to supplant that because he got in the red zone. He ran the ball like 3 times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I can see that's what he's trying to get to. But before we move on for that, you know something? You said it last year, Bernard, that Flus was he was scared to hire somebody that was better because he didn't want his job.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am not going to underestimate that he has not went to a Super Bowl winning coordinator who's your running back coach and asked suggestions to get the run game going. Cause ain't no way in the world he not using what's his name? Eric Bieniemy.
The Airbnb.
He
But
there for a reason.
but if you think about what you just said, and we talked about it last year, like you just said, Eberflus, we felt like Eberflus couldn't get fired because he didn't have nobody under him
Yep.
that was going to be able to take over the
Yep.
head coaching. Guess what? If they decide to fire Ben Johnson tomorrow, just for sake of saying, you got Dennis Allen,
Yep.
You got Eric Bieniemy.
Yep.
Never been a head coach before, but you got Antoine Randall. You have
Yep.
experience on this
Yeah,
coaching staff,
you got
and
some
I
cold
think
experience too.
Yeah.
and I
Because
think it makes a difference
it
to
does.
see these wide receivers on the Bears blocking down the field on run plays. It's a beautiful thing.
To see Swift, everybody be like, man, I don't even know. And I'm included, like, I don't even know why we got this dude now. And I'm like, dang, this dude,
Uh huh. Uh huh.
where this come from?
I was
Yeah.
texting y'all yesterday. I was like, everybody talking about we need to upgrade the running back room.
No,
I
I
guess
don't think so. Shoot.
Swift and Manung guy was like, no, we don't. We got this.
Nah,
We
Yeah,
got
you
Swift.
know what?
this.
And I have to credit Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's a because you know what my complaint was, Jay. I started last year after the first game. I was like, man, he needs to stop stutter stepping in
Yep.
one place, and
Yep.
I was like, he's not reading his blocks. He needs to read his blocks, and he needs to run to the hole where the play is designed and not bounce it too quick. To me, he's done all that stuff
All of that.
last recent
All
game.
of that.
Now, the only thing he eventually he has to work on is sometimes he still do this, and he did it yesterday. It's okay to dip in and dip back out in the open field. Watch your block because sometimes he still dip in and run into where the guy's being blocked at. Versus sometimes you just, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you show a guy something like he did on that pass last week. He stepped in and he went back outside for 60, 50 some yard run after the catch. So yeah, but
Yeah. So
that's it.
yeah. So it's people need to understand that this still is a work in progress,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and to be 4-2, because I actually had the Bears after these 6 games. I had them at 3-3.
That's
So
right.
for them, I had them at 3-3. So for them to be 4-2 going into this Baltimore game, where I think Lamar is actually going to be back this week coming up, but is he going to be 100%? But the Baltimore defense is bad, so it's just the small steps. And I want real Bears fans to understand that this is not going to be an overnight fix. It's not going
Nope.
to be an overnight fix,
Nope.
and we can take it how we did it. If we win 10-6 next week, I don't want to hear about Caleb playing bad. We can talk about it if Caleb played bad, but the bottom line is we won 10-6,
Right. Winning changed the perception of how your quarterback is playing.
and you can
Yesterday,
actually see.
correct. Yesterday, Washington went in there and got their butt beat
Mm-hmm.
Blow,
by
they
the
doors blew
Cowboys.
off.
They got it blew off 44-22 or something like
Yep,
Yeah.
that.
yep.
Quarterback ended up with a hamstring. It's people in DC starting to say, man, what's going on with our quarterback, right? Because they 3-3. They like, man, we lost to the Bears, then we turn up and lose to Dallas, and we only get 22 points. Justin Fields got 21 on, right? I mean, they starting to say stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because if you lose, the perception changed of you, right? If you win, you win, right? And so that's how it is, right?
It's crazy though, because the most simplest thing, knowing, being able to identify a bad team and a bad coaching staff should be so
Mm-hmm.
simple. So like, yeah, it should just be so simple. It should be common sense. And the fact that Bears Nation went, and I was texting you this, when did Bears Nation become like New York and Philly? Like, when did we become like this? Like,
Yeah.
it's a
Ever
process. Like,
since,
if we win 10-6,
ever
still look,
since, ever
We would be
since we
upset. We'll be
Ever
right.
since
upset.
we've drafted a quarterback #1 overall 3 times for the last 6 years, I want to say 6 years or 7 years. That's when it's become this. That's when it's become this because everybody is looking for that #1 first round draft pick quarterback to be our savior, and that
Well,
has not been the problem.
Well,
So
first of all, the fact that Ben Johnson was able to come in here and turn the program around and be where we are, I didn't see that coming because that's hard to do. Like you don't never really like see teams make that jump like that in the first year. I know it's still early, but I didn't expect us to be where we are and to
what I
win the
did,
games.
what I did,
I didn't know that we were going to be able to turn around. Last year, if Flukes was still here and we played Watson again, we would have lost that game again.
yeah, yeah. But
So I
but
wasn't
but
expecting us to be able to learn how to finish something like that so early. That's
but I
impressive
think
to me.
but I think for me, when they hired Ben Johnson, my first thing was Ben Johnson didn't take a coaching job last year because he felt like he wasn't ready. And he wound up taking this job this year because he was like, okay, I see I got something to work with, so I'm gonna take this job. And then his tenacity and his intenseness, even when I saw when he got the first thing he said, the first day he got to Hallis Hall, he was like, okay, I'm glad everybody here. Everybody get back to work. That told me right there, like this dude is all about the business. And it's been like that through OTAs, through training camp, and still, even today, even to this day, when he go in his press conferences, he holds nothing back.
Hmm.
The transparency that we get from this coach, we have not seen probably since Mike Ditka. Even Lovey was still Rex is our quarterback. He wasn't
Hmm.
really like trying to rock the boat.
Yeah.
This Ben Johnson is like, yeah, we did this, we did that. I'm glad we got the win. We need to clean this up. This guy can't do this. This guy can't do this. This guy can't do this. Accountability is everything, and that's what I like about this coach. And it's rubbing off on the players.
And I guarantee you this though, we gonna score a little bit more this game. And the only reason why I say that because you go look at how this season's gone, it's been bad game, improvement. We fell back, greater improvement. So bye week, come back, run game fix, defense playing better. I'm gonna make a change at left tackle. I'm gonna get this going. I'm gonna get that. I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this before. So I'm thinking it's gonna be a
It ain't
surprise game
it ain't
against
the
the
same thing.
Ravens.
I do
I
too.
I, I
I
do.
do too.
I think
I
it's gonna
ain't
be a
trying to
surprise game.
I
I
ain't trying
think
to
we're gonna
voice it.
see, yeah, we're
I
gonna
ain't
see
trying to voice
Caleb
it.
play a little bit better than he did last week.
I
I
ain't trying to
promise you.
voice it. But I actually think, and this is not me being a homer, I actually think we finna go on a run. I actually think we're gonna lose to the Giants. It's
Hey
at
Jay,
Soldier Field, but that's 3 weeks from now. But this is me. As I looked at the schedule, I'm
I
like,
don't
okay,
see us losing to the Giants. I feel like we're gonna lose to one of our rivals again.
Jay,
That's where I'm
in this
going with it.
5 game stretch, right? Because I'm not talking about like the division, Chris. I'm talking about just these games. Bengals. I mean,
Yeah.
not Bengals.
the Ravens, the
Ravens,
Bengals, the
Bengals.
Ravens, the Bengals, um,
There's one other
the
team in the
Giants,
Giants,
the
right?
Giants, and
I
somebody
think
else.
I'm confidently saying
But
we're
but
finding those
but when I
games.
looked at the reason I laughed, Jay, because when I looked at it recently, that was the game that I said most likely they could lose was the Giants. Right when I
I don't
looked at
think
it, right, I
I
just thought
don't.
that was just one of the ones where you on the roll and you start feeling good, right, and you the
You
roll
start
off
feeling
four or
yourself.
five, and
You
I
then
start feeling yourself.
no.
Yeah,
yeah,
you
I
start feeling
think
yourself.
we say that
I know we ain't
before I
getting
feel
ahead out there.
ourselves when we start playing division. I feel like division is gonna get us. I feel like we gonna get all those other teams because Giants. Ugh, I ain't whatever. Like for real.
But
Yeah.
I know we're getting
NFC.
ahead of. I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but the Giants got the best pass rush in the NFL, man. The Giants got the best pass rush in the NFL.
Hey, but Washington had the best run defense. What happened?
That's true.
So,
That's true.
hey, I
That's
want to
true.
see. I want to see about it. That's all I'm gonna say. I want to
Yep.
It's
see
all
about it
about
because that's all they were saying. Washington
it's
got the best run defense. Washington got and what we
no
do.
the best run offense. best run offense.
Run defense. Run defense.
And
Hey, so
we
hey,
held the Saints to 44 yards rushing yesterday.
Yep.
That's insane. That was insane.
yeah,
That was insane.
yeah,
So
sure was. Hey, you know what, man? There's a lot of information. Now I want to keep y'all all night, man. So
right, because we can keep talking. I'm just looking
I
at the
know,
clock
right?
like,
hey,
okay.
man, this is a good
Yeah.
conversation, man, because
Yeah.
you know it dig into some of the stuff that we could kind of be more detailed about what we seeing about the quarterback. And only thing I do want to add is something we said earlier. I think the fifth year option is one of the things that mess up quarterback development because
Mhm.
teams have to figure out
They got to make the
it
decision.
takes more in a rush, right?
They
Because
got
of
to
that
make the decision.
option, you try to make a decision at some point in their third year if you're going to either franchise tag them and all that. So now a guy who maybe should have has sat his rookie year, he's playing, right? Because you need to get the heads up on him. And if you think about the Packers, they took a big chance because he sat down and they gave him money off 1 year plan, right? So
Yeah.
even now, some of their fans go back and forth. We shouldn't have paid him, right? He hadn't even, so
Nah, they did the right thing.
they did the right thing.
I feel like sitting and being and getting in the classroom and teaching the kid
Mm-hmm.
and then getting them out there. And the only thing you got to do is get adjusted to the speed of the game is a lot more easier than giving him the whole plate.
Yeah.
So it's either two things, like Jay said, you gonna draft your quarterback that's been in school for a long time, or you gonna be smart and build an infrastructure around him so he can be successful. It's one of the two things you're gonna do. Or it's gonna be like the Browns. Keep drafting quarterback after every year and they suck. You're gonna be just like us.
This and that. Okay, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say, and then I'm logging off. Mike McDaniels, you could have told me he wasn't gonna be fired after yesterday. Mike McDaniels
He
needs to be
gone.
fired in Miami,
Yeah.
and I'm so surprised that it has not happened yet. I'm so surprised because I was
He
looking at
remind
the
me of a
score
younger Mark
yesterday.
Trestman.
He sure does. He sure does. When they hired him, I thought that.
He remind me so much of a younger Mark
But
Trestman.
as I'm looking at the scoreboard yesterday, I'm like, "Ooh, Mike McDaniels is gonna be the first coach to be fired in the NFL this year." But man,
I don't
it's
know.
No,
Aaron
they
Glenn
what you
might
call
be.
fire? They coached last week.
Who? Oh yeah,
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee. Yeah.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Aaron Glenn
He
gonna be
was,
the second one though.
and he was a rookie coach.
They
So
rookie coach.
go figure.
Yeah, Aaron Glenn gonna be next. And
Yeah,
then
man. I hate that. I hate
I
that for
hate it for him
Aaron.
too, but
I hate it. I hate it for him.
But Bernard said this many years ago before we get off. A lot of these black coaches be so thirsty to take a job, they take the wrong, bad job, and then they never get hired again. He should have just stayed in Detroit and just been like, I'm going to wait. I'm going to chill this out.
Which is why, again, I talk about how Ben Johnson was like, I'm not ready to come out yet. I'm not ready to be a head coach. I'm still trying to stay here and
Whole
figure this
time,
out.
I feel like he was waiting
You know
to
what I'm
see
saying?
where Caleb was going to go, and that's where he was probably going to go. And when he saw Caleb went to the Bears, he was like, I'll play them every year. I know what type of talent they got. That's an easy adjustment. I'm only 4 hours away.
Yeah.
I'm only a 4-hour drive. Shoot, I keep my house in Detroit and everything. Shoot.
right. All right. Hey, guys, thank you. A great show. Man, make sure if you're out there watching on tonight, we're on YouTube, Twitch TV, and Facebook. Make sure you hit subscribe on either Twitch TV or on YouTube. Until next time, peace.